All right. So we're going to make our way onto our backs in a position that is comfortable for you. As far as music, I didn't pick a playlist for class. I just said pick one. So get some music going if you like music. Otherwise, practicing in silence can be really nice too. Make sure you have your blocks handy at the front of your mat. And we may use the strap as well. So you can have that handy. So go ahead and close your eyes and begin to turn inward. Focusing on your breath, noticing the thoughts that might be taking up space in your mind, and just try to acknowledge them and gently encourage them to go somewhere else for the next 60 minutes. And my quote for you this morning says, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." So just take that moment. Look inside. Your eyes are closed. It's kind of like an internal scuba diving inside your body, in your mind. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice. And then together, let's take a nice slow inhale, slowly through the nose, filling up. And open your mouth and just a soft sigh out the mouth. Keep exhaling, letting everything go. And do that one more time. And let it go. And just come back to your natural breath, drawing your knees into your chest when you're ready. One hand on each knee and just squeeze the knees toward the chest. And then let your hips come down to the mat, thighs come together, and just make some circles. Go in one direction a few times. And then go the opposite way. Make this feel really good. Let your knees gently fall to the right and just look over your left arm. When you're ready, switch it up the other way. And then come to center. We're going to just do traditional yoga bicycles to start to build some heat internally. So let's start with our knees bent. I'll give you some options as we go. Take your fingertips behind your head and take your elbows out nice and wide, and then flex your toes. So your feet stay flexed the whole time. From here, lift up a little bit higher so your shoulders are off the mat. Take an inhale. As you exhale, extend your right leg and bring your right elbow to your left knee. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, take it the other way. So try not to bring your knee to your elbow. Instead, try to get a deeper twist, bringing that elbow toward the knee. So your knee should stay right over your hip bone, and you're exhaling as you twist and bring that elbow to the knee. So you can keep it just like this. A little more challenging would be to have your legs extended up as opposed to your knees being bent. If you prefer the knees being bent, you can also challenge yourself more, if you want that, by hovering your leg, your extended leg, closer to the floor. And if you want less, you're going to extend your leg a little bit higher. So let's do one more on each side. And we'll meet with the right elbow toward the left extended leg or bent knee. And we're going to do little pulses here. For 4, 3, right elbow to left leg, 2, 1, come back to center, inhale, exhale, take it the other way, little exhales, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and just continue that a few more times on your own. You choose if you want an extended leg or a bent knee, doesn't matter. Let's do 2 more sets, one on each side, 4 little pulses. And then we're going to come back to singles for 8, 4 on each side. 8, 7, 4 more, 3, 2, and when you're done, draw your knees in, take a big inhale, and then as you exhale, let your feet come down to the floor, set up for bridge, press into your feet, inhale, reach the arms up over your head as your hips lift, and then as you exhale, bring everything back down, your arms, your spine, and your hips. And then inhale, just move with your breath. Should feel good. Let's do one more. And then draw your knees back into your chest at the bottom of your exhale. And we're going to rock and roll a few times. We're going to meet in boat pose for just a very short visit. Arms can reach, legs can reach, fingertips can be behind you. Just hold it here for 4, 3, 2, and then we'll meet in a tabletop position. So just crisscross your ankles, come onto all fours. And start with some cat-cows. So as you inhale, lift your heart and your tailbone. And as you exhale, round the spine. Again, moving with your own breath. Oh, you're funny, Greg. So we're going to meet in down dog when you're ready. Take as many more cat-cows as you need this morning. Maybe even add in a cow sound as my husband is doing in his cow pose. You forgot the cat sound, though, Greg. Walk your dog, taking a bend in each knee. Make sure you keep pressing into your palms, though. Don't lose that integrity in the arms. Keep those arms nice and straight. Fingers are spread. You're pressing equally into both hands. On your next inhale, let's meet in plank pose. So come on forward. Look at your hands. Spread your fingers out. Wrists are facing the front of your mat. And if you look at me right now, I am not in a good plank. I need to walk my feet back. So if you're feeling like your tush is up too high, you're going to want to walk your feet back. Send your heels to the back of the mat and send the crown of the head to the front of your mat and press equally to both hands to feel that lift in the core. Take one more inhale here, and as you exhale, slowly lower all the way down. Send your elbows to the back of your mat. Untuck your toes. Hug those elbows in. Lift your heart on an inhale. All 10 toes are on the mat, so you should press like the tops of your toes into the floor. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, lower. Tuck your toes. Press up to plank. And exhale, downward facing dog. Okay, Greg, Teddy's scratching at the door. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Lily. One more breath. Look forward, walk your feet to the top of your mat. When you get there, inhale, look forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale and just fold over your thighs. Shake your head out, yes and no. Inhale, look forward again. Exhale, fold. Go a little deeper. Feel free to keep your knees bent here. We're not warmed up yet. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, draw your hands together at your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Find a super long spine. Heart leads you forward. As you fold, you should still be exhaling. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank and lower chaturanga. Nice and with control. Go slowly. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra or up dog if you're ready for it. And exhale into downward facing dog. You can always power it up by adding in chaturanga push-ups at the end if you want them. One more breath here. Look forward, walk or float your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach up and look up. Exhale, hands at your heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, look forward. Plant your hands, step back to plank, and lower with that exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold it here. Two more breaths in your down dog. Make sure you're starting that Ujjayi pranayama breath if you haven't already. That nice ocean sounding breath helps kind of stoke the fire internally, building that heat. Look forward, walk or float the feet to the top. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing, reach up and look up. And then let's sit down in chair pose. Drop those hips, scoop that tailbone under, lift all 10 toes off the mat. Take your right arm back, left arm forward. And while you're doing that, notice like my right hip drew back. Try not to do that. Keep your hips forward. If you had that same reaction in your body. Come on back to chair, reach up, and then exhale, take it the other way and keep your right hip hugging back so that left hip doesn't reach to the back of your mat. Come on back to chair, sweep both arms up, and then straighten your legs and fold. Inhale, look forward. Plant your hands, step back and lower slow chaturanga. Inhale, lift your heart for cobra or upward facing dog, and downward facing dog as you exhale. Hold it here. Step your right foot forward and then toe heel that right foot over to the right. Set up for warrior one. So right hip draws back, left toes, look at them. They should be slightly forward and then rise on up. Right toes face the front of your mat. Right hip back, left hip forward. Shoulders relax down the back. Maybe palms touch overhead if that feels right for you. One more big inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands down, step back to plank. Take your vinyasa. Pause here. Step your left foot forward, toe heel it over to the left, and then spin that right foot flat. When you're ready, rise up, left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe right here. One more big inhale. As you exhale, bring those hands down, step back, take your vinyasa. You can always float a leg if you want a little more of a challenge. And you can always add in those push-ups at the end if you want it. One more breath in down dog. Look forward, walk or softly float those feet to the top. Inhale, look forward. Fold as you exhale. Bend your knees. Come on back to chair. And then straighten your legs, lean back on a nice back bend. Maybe circle those arms. Yeah, feels good, right? Bend your knees, come on back to chair. Drop the hips, sweep those arms up. This time we're just gonna straighten the legs and fold. Traditional sun salutation B. Inhale, look forward. We'll flow right through it this time. Jump or step back through your vinyasa. From downward facing dog, as you're exhaling, right foot forward, left foot flat. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale, hands come down. Step back and lower on the same exhale. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. As you're exhaling, left foot forward, right foot flat. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands down. Step back, take a vinyasa. We're gonna do that one more time on each side. I'm gonna let you flow on your own. So you're gonna step that right foot forward. When you're done on the left side, just stay in down dog when you get there. One more breath in your downward facing dog. And then look forward, walk or float your feet to the top. Inhale, look forward. Exhale and fold. Bend your knees, chair pose, come on back. Straighten those legs, find that nice back bend, circle the arms. And just find Tadasana at the top of your mat. Arms either at your sides or hands at your heart. Close the eyes, take a moment to just come back to your intention. If you forgot to set one, now's your chance. And on your next inhale, sweep your arms up to the sky. Hinge and fold forward. We're just going to make our way to down dog. You can step right back to it or take your vinyasa, your choice. So we're going to step your right foot to the top of your mat, setting up for a crescent pose, but we're going to drop your left knee and inhale, find your crescent B. So I want you to press into the ball of your left tucked toes and send your hips forward. Allow your shoulder blades to slide down your back, maybe even turn your pinkies in toward the midline to encourage your shoulders to slide down the back. Take one more inhale here, and then as you exhale, lift your knee and sweep your arms back behind you. Create that nice long line of energy, like we could just take off into warrior three from here. Stay right here. On your next inhale, drop your knee, inhale, crescent B, and then exhale, sweep it back, lift the knee. You can always keep the knee down if you like to modify. Inhale, crescent B, exhale, lift the knee, sweep back. Let's do that one more time. Stay right here. We're going to take a twist, left hand down, right arm up to the sky. That right knee, just pay attention to it. Notice if it kind of rolled out. Try to hug it in like you're magnetizing the inside of that right thigh to your chest. From here, we're going to spin your left foot flat and take a Vashisthasana. Your choice, what you want to do. You can modify with the knee down. Take that arm over your ear and then right hand down, take a vinyasa. At the end of your next exhale, left foot forward, find your lunge first. Drop your right knee and find that crescent B. And we're going to stay here a few breaths, warming up that hip flexor, pressing into the ball of your right foot. So those right toes are tucked. Give you something to press into so your hips come forward, shoulders relax down the back. One more breath, and then sweep the arms back. Stay here. Create that nice long line of energy. So shoulders, again, are down your back. Your fingertips are reaching to the back of your mat. Drop your knee. Inhale, crescent B. Exhale, sweep back. Two more with your breath. We're going to stay here, that long line of energy. Right hand down, left knee draws in as you take that twist. So think from the crown of your head, spiraling into that inside like you're wringing out your internal organs like a wet rag, and then reach back through your right heel. One more breath. Spin your right foot flat. Find your Vashisthasana. Again, you can drop your right knee to the mat and find a side plank that works for you. Can you reach up more with your left hand to lift your left hip? One more breath. Left hand comes down. Take your vinyasa. Step that right foot forward. Drop your left knee. Inhale, crescent B. So we're going to add on. As you exhale, sweep your arms back, lift the knee. 2 more just like that. We're going to meet in that nice long line of energy. We're going to stay here. So we're going to lift into warrior 3. So maybe your arms don't change and you just energize your left foot, or maybe hands to your heart or hands to blocks. Crown of the head, all the way down your spine to your left flexed foot. So those left toes are down to the floor. Your hips are parallel to the mat. I want you to put the awareness in your right foot. We're going to stand up slowly. Try to find your balance. Bring the gaze upward and find tree pose. Left foot wherever you want. The only place you don't want to put it is on top of your knee. Shoulders, again, relax down the back. Arms can be extended up, or maybe cactus arms. If your balance is off, hands at the heart is a good spot. So where we are going next is half moon pose. So your right hand's going to either float into it or find your block. Place that to the outside of your right pinky toe and open up. Maybe hand on your hip to kind of encourage this left hip to stack open over the right, and flex your left toes toward you. Even look back at your left foot. If you don't see your toes, adjust your left leg a little bit so you can. And then energize that top arm if you're extending it up. If you want to grab the foot for Chipasana, nice hip flex stretch right here if you want it. Two more breaths right here. We're going to bend our right knee and gracefully step back. I should say John gracefully, right, John? John's got a good last name, Grace. Okay, right heel in line with your left foot. Sink into your right knee. Look over your right hand. And again, encourage this knee. If it's rolling inward, nope, push it away. You don't want it rolling inward. Toward the pinky edge of your foot. Your right knee should be over the ankle or behind it. You don't want the knee going past the ankle. Reverse the warrior. Reach up and back. Side angle pose when you're ready. Any variation you like. I always like to start with form to thigh. It doesn't mean you have to. But we're, again, encouraging that knee to open. If your hand is down to the floor on a block, have the back of your right arm pressing into the inside of your right thigh. So it kind of gives you leverage to open and expand in this whole heart space. So if your forearm is on the thigh, you're pressing your forearm into the inside of that knee to kind of gently nudge it open. Notice if the toes of your right foot are gripping the mat. Try not to do that. Lift them up, fan them out. Check in with your jaw. Move it around if you're a jaw clencher like I am. On your next inhale, find warrior 2. You know the release is coming, so just work for it, right? Let that thigh get fiery. Reverse the warrior, reach up and back. Straighten your right leg, reverse the triangle. Ooh, that felt good. One more breath right here. And then when you're ready, come on up. Find your triangle, shorten your stance if you like to. Reach, reach, reach. When your body stops, then let your hand, kind of like tick-tock the arms. Let it land wherever it does. Left arm up to the sky or over the ear or a half wrap. Couple more breaths here. And then we're going to make our way to the back of the mat. So come on up. We're going to sink into this left knee. Bring your hands to the floor. Turn the right toes forward. So we're not coming into an actual skandasana because your toes are facing the side of your mat. And then take it the other way. Bend into the right knee. Hands are on the floor for support, or if you want to bring them somewhere else, feel free. Take it back to the left side. And then back to the right. And then straighten both legs. We're facing the side and we're just going to fold over our legs. You can adjust the stance if you need to make it shorter. So if your head touches the floor and you're not planning to come into a headstand, bring your feet closer together, big toes in, heels out, and then use your hands as leverage to pull your torso closer to your thighs. So maybe you grab your ankles for leverage. Maybe you grab your big toes with your peace fingers for leverage. Or maybe you just grip your hands onto the mat. So if you're in a headstand, stay there for a few breaths. If you're with me in the forward fold, just stay here. If you're holding tension in the neck, shake your head out yes and no. If you're in your headstand, start to make your way down. And then we're all going to straighten the arms. Turn your right toes to the front of your mat so you are in a runner's lunge. Left hand down, right arm up. Take your twist. Vashisthasana when you're ready. Maybe you try a different option this time. If you want to grab your big toe and extend the leg up, you can try that, or maybe a tree pose, or you just float your right leg over the left. One more breath. Bring your right hand down. If you're in tree, you may like the vinyasa with tree. It's one of my favorite things for my low back, but some people hate it and it really bothers their back. So if it feels good, stay a few breaths. We're going to meet in down dog. Couple of resting breaths in down dog. If you need a child's pose, this is a nice time for a child's pose. Take a big inhale through your nose. Let something go, sigh it out. Take another breath in. We're going to meet with that left foot forward in a lunge. So as you're exhaling, big step forward, find your lunge, drop your right knee. Inhale, crescent V, hips come forward. Exhale, sweep your arms back. Chest is right over the thighs. Do that 2 more times with your breath. We're going to meet with that nice long line of energy. Stay here. And when you're ready, find your warrior 3, whatever that looks like. You can modify with blocks. You can take your hands somewhere else. But you're trying to square your hips so they're parallel to the floor. Right foot's reaching back, toes are flexed. Couple more breaths here. And then we'll slowly make our way into tree. So take your time, don't rush into it. Lift the gaze slowly as you begin to rise up and place that right foot into your tree. Couple more breaths here. So we're going to transition into half moon pose. So go slowly, maybe bend your left knee a little bit. As you slowly bring that left hand down, you can bring the right hand to the hip to encourage that hip to open. Hi. Right toes are flexed. Again, you can look back and see if you see those toes. If they're hidden, bring them slightly forward. 3 more breaths right here. Feel free to take Shavasana if you took it on the other side. One more breath. We're going to bend the left knee, gracefully step back into that warrior 2. Left toes face the front of your mat and left heel in line with your right. Sink into that knee. Try to encourage that knee to be in line with the ankle if you can. Left knee is pressing away from you. Shoulders relax down the back. Inhale, reverse. Try not to change the bend in that front knee unless you're going deeper. Breathe into this rib tissue, should feel good. Come on up, find your side angle pose. Ideally, you want to take the same thing you did on the other side, unless you have an injury that prevents you from doing so. But you want to feel an expansion in your heart. So lean back. Forearm is pressing into your left thigh, or your left tricep is pressing into your left thigh. Your left sitting bone is going back toward the back of your mat, toward your right foot. Couple more breaths here. Left toes are soft, your jaw's relaxed, your brows relaxed. One more breath, find warrior two on your next inhale. Come on up. Stay and just simmer here. Reverse your warrior, reach to the back. And now straighten your left leg and smile. That should feel good. Come on up. Shorten your stance if you like to, and reach, reach, reach. Reach, keep reaching, and then fall into that triangle pose. Energize the top arm. Should be very active. Do whatever you like with your arms, as long as your heart is spinning upward. So if you had a flashlight in the center of your chest, it would be going slightly up toward your ceiling. Two more breaths here. And then we will meet again in that lunge toward the back of your mat. So your toes are going to face the side of your mat. So come on up, turn those left toes in, and just sink into that right knee toward the back of your mat. Now, if you want to come into a skandasana, you lift the left toes, and then we're going to take it the other way. You can keep your hands down. You can lift the toes. You can bring the hands to the heart if you like. If you have knee issues, I recommend keeping your hands on the floor for support. Let's take it to the back of your mat. And now to the front of your mat. And then come to center, turn those big toes in, heels out. So this time I'm going to have you keep your arms straight. We're going to plant your left hand down. Come onto the fingertips. So you're lifted, not jumping down, okay? So stay lifted and reach your right arm up for a twist. And maybe even for a moment, feel your hips. I know I need to nudge my right one back a bit. So check in with yourself, be honest. Your low back should be parallel to the floor, like you could balance a boiling cup of water and it wouldn't go anywhere. And release that down, switch it up. Stay on the fingertips, reach that left arm up to the sky. One more big inhale, spin that heart open a little more, and then come back down to center. All right, we're going to turn your left toes forward. Find your runner's lunge at the front of your mat. Right hand down, left arm up, take a twist. So we're going to transition from here into Vashisthasana. So spin to the outer edge of that right foot. Maybe you keep your left foot where it is. You can get a nice hip opener there, or find an option that works for you that allows your left hip to lift. One more breath, and then slowly, think slow motion, move into plank. Maybe keep your tree if you enjoy that on the other side. And then you'll take a vinyasa. And if you're in your tree, I'd say hang out here a little bit in this cobra. It feels good. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a couple of deep breaths here. At the end of your next exhale, walk or float your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, fold over your thighs. Bend your knees, find chair pose, Utkatasana. All 10 toes, lift them up off the floor and keep them off. Drop your hips down, tuck your tailbone, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, lift your spine and take a twist. Left elbow to the outside of your right knee. And then do a quick check, alignment check. Make sure your left knee is not in front of your right. And the way to adjust that is to draw your left hip back more. Now, if you have side crow in your practice and you want to take it here, bring those hands down and make sure they're in line with each other. Unless you're really advanced and you don't need the back arm. You're going to tip over, lift those feet, or maybe spread the legs out. Otherwise, stay in your twist. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Come on back to center. Reach those arms up and then yes, stand up. Ooh, lean back, take a big inhale. Exhale, bend your knees, come back to chair pose. We're gonna take it the other way, hands to your heart. Right elbow comes across, hooks to the outside of that left knee, and now draw your right hip back. Knees and toes are in line with each other. Take your choice here. If you took side crow on the other side, you can take it here. One more breath. This time we're going to straighten the legs and fold over your thighs. Shake those legs out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. Reach your arms up. Oh, we're not done with Mr. Chair. Have a seat. Come on down. Hands to your heart. Take a prayer twist again, but we're going to switch it up this time. This time I want you to put all the energy in your right foot, and you're going to hover your left foot off the floor and step it back to a crescent twist. And hold it here. You can modify by bringing the knees down or grabbing our table. You can always modify here. Think about, again, crown of the head forward, left heel back. 2 more breaths. Suck your belly button in and press that right palm down on the left. 1 more breath. You're going to slowly just bring your hands down to the floor. So you're in a lunge. Your right leg is going to go up, down dog split, bend your knee, open the hip. Should feel good. Option here to flip your dog if you like. We're going to meet in downward facing dog. If you want a vinyasa, feel free. You know we got to do that on the other side, right? So look forward, walk or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to standing. All right, this time we're going to sit in Mrs. Chair because we did Mr. Chair on the other side. Have a seat. Scoop the tailbone under, hands to your heart. Inhale, lift the chest and take that twist, right elbow to the outside of the knee. Energy in your left foot. See if you can hover the foot. Try it. Go slow. It's like you're in a warrior 3 almost, and then you step back. Maybe we'll do these again next week with our twisting class. So settle in here. Option is always available to drop your right knee. If you're struggling right now, drop your knee. Let the crown of your head reach forward. Right heel reach back. Press the left palm down into your right knee. 2 more breaths. We're going to slowly release your hands down. Plant the hands, left foot goes up. Shake that leg out, bend your knee, open the hip, and or flip the dog. Making our way to downward facing dog. You can go straight there. So before we make our way to the floor, we're going to do one more thing. Grab your block. This guy, we're going to place it this way at the top of your mat. So it's the middle height. I want you to take your thumb and forefinger. So it looks like this at the base of your block. So you're hugging it to like an L shape. If you don't have a block, don't worry about it. Just bring your hands down to the floor, your forearms down to the floor. We're setting up for dolphin. So if you're not using a block, just have your arms parallel to each other, like goalposts, and then walk your feet towards your elbows, and shoulders are over your elbow crease. Head is down toward the floor. You're looking back toward your feet. So you can play here. You can take a leg up. If you have Pincha Mayurasana practice, you can play with kicking that leg up, maybe get a little hang time. And when you've had enough, don't find child's pose yet. Just walk your feet back. We're in a forearm plank for a couple of breaths right here. Pressing into your hands and your forearms. Just 3 more breaths, that's it. That's it. 1 more breath. Now just let your hips come down as you exhale, and you're magically in a Sphinx pose. Untuck your toes. So from here, energetically drag your forearms back and send your chest up. It's gonna make you lift your chest a bit. Shoulders are relaxed. Let's look over the right shoulder and bend the opposite leg. So bend your left leg as you look right. And then switch it up. Do that one more time on each side. Come on back to center, move that block out of the way, and now shift your hips back to child's pose. Big toes together, knees apart, and just allow your forehead to come to the floor. Allow your chest to melt down toward the floor. Couple of deep breaths here. One more breath. And then let's just walk our hands back toward the knees. And we're gonna come up onto our knees. So we're gonna take camel pose today for our back bend. You might wanna block. So you can take a block behind you if you want and kind of hug your ankles to the block or put it between your feet. Bye. Gives you something to reach for if you wanna reach back. Okay, so right now, look at your alignment. Shoulders, hips, and knees should be one straight line. You wanna keep your hips in line with your knees, okay? So you don't wanna reach back like I'm doing right now. See how my hips are melting back? Don't do that. Send your hips forward. So let's start with the hands behind the low back. Send your hips forward. If you wanna take it somewhere else, go for it. But I want you to really encourage your hips forward, lift the heart, and look up. This might be enough. This should feel really good. Your elbows become like your 2 humps of the camel. Couple more breaths. And then slowly come on up. If you do have that block, you can sit back on it so it's not so deep on your knees. Vanessa, this would be good for you. And then lace your fingers and round forward, dropping your chin toward the chest. Greg will be good for you. And Misty, you too with your knee. And then come on up. So we're gonna do 2 more. So if you want to alternate reaching back for one heel, you can. I will tell you a good way to do this is to tuck your toes under. It lifts your heels a little higher. You don't have to reach back so far. So send your hips forward, find that nice camel. And then if you want to reach back, let's bring the left hand to the ankle. I'm sorry, to the heel, and then the right arm back. If you want to put both hands on both heels, you can do that, or just stick with one. Keep sending your hips forward. One more breath right here. And then come all the way up, sit back. Round forward. And then just reach your arms up and come on up. Tuck those toes under again if you like that. You don't have to tuck the toes. Hands to the low back, send those hips forward, lift the heart. And if you're going for that heel, right hand to the heel, left arm up and back. But keep sending your hips forward. Don't let your hips melt back towards your heels. Make sure you're breathing. One more breath. And then come on up. We're gonna sit back again towards your heels. And we're gonna round forward. I'm gonna face you guys here. Round forward. And then reach your arms up, keep your fingers laced. Drop your hips over to the left. Find that nice mermaid pose. Reach those palms away, so you should feel a really nice side body stretch on the left side. And then come up and over to the other side. Find your other mermaid pose. And then just swing your legs around in front of you, setting up for Paschimottanasana. So grab each thigh and roll it in. Sit up nice and tall. If you need a little lift under your seat, sit on a blanket. Inhale, reach up, reach forward, maybe grab your strap and place it around your feet to pull your heart forward. You have a lot of mobility here. You can place a block at the base of your feet to basically make your legs a little longer so you have more to reach for. But wherever you are, make sure your toes are flexed and your thighs are actively pressing into your yoga mat. Each inhale, grow longer in your spine, and your exhale brings your torso a little closer to your thighs. One more breath here. And then slowly come on up. All right, we're going to take your right shin and bend it in. That's my right, so that's your left. Okay, and then bring your left around in front. Sorry, I'm talking to myself here. We're going to set up for baby cradle. So this is your hip opener here. Now you can either come here, start here. This is a good place to start. Otherwise, you can place the foot into the elbow crease and the knee into the elbow crease. And we're flexing this right foot. And we're sitting up tall. Notice if you're kind of rounding down, try not to do that. Sit up tall. And then you can rock that cradle right here. If you find that sweet spot where you kind of feel like, ooh, there's a whole lot going on here, stay there and just simmer into it a little bit. From here, we're going to take your lace fingers to the base of your foot. And we're going to draw that knee back. Okay, we're moving into compass pose, my friends. So keep your right hand on your foot. This left arm goes underneath. You're going to grab it and try to lift this up. Just try it. Lift it up towards your shoulder. It might not go on your shoulder. That is okay. Okay, now this hand, flip it on the other side of your foot. So now your palm is facing you. Left hand down. This might be enough for you right here. You're working toward straightening the leg and you're going to get a stretch. Oh my gosh, in so many places. You can stay there if you want to play with an arm balance. You hook your feet and you send your legs through where you kind of hug your left arm. Again, you can ignore all of that. We're going to carefully come out of this and just take your legs out in front of you and shake them out. Wasn't that fun? I didn't tell you that was coming. All right, bend your left shin and bring your right shin now in front of you. Honor the differences. I already feel a difference in this hip than the other. So do what you need to do. You want to start here. If you're ready for baby cradle, go there. This foot is flexed. You're sitting up tall. Check in with your spine. Rock from side to side if you like. Ooh la la. So now you know where we're going. If you were like, it's not for me, stay here. This is a great hip opener. If you want to come with me, we're going to bring our hands to the bottom of the foot and draw that knee back. It's like a bow and arrow, right? Draw it back. It's just getting a little more space there. All right, so hang on to this foot with your left hand. This right arm comes on the inside and take your thumb and forefinger and try to lift up toward your shoulder. It might be more by your tricep or your elbow, that's fine. And then that hand comes down. Now the left hand goes to the top of your right foot and you work toward straightening the leg. Might not be anywhere near straight, like I am not anywhere near straight. Okay, I feel it. And if you want to take the arm balance, you can go there. Whoo-wee. One more breath wherever you are. And then carefully release that. This time I'm going to have you take your legs out wide. So again, if you're falling back like this, that means you want to either sit up on a blanket or a block, okay? Legs are as wide as it feels right for you. Take your hands now behind you and kind of scooch forward a little bit. You might not have much room, that's fine. Feet are flexed, pull them toward you. Inhale, reach up. Right arm down, left arm over the ear. Blocks are great under this right forearm if you need that to raise the floor up a little bit. Pull that left shoulder open. And take it up and over to the other side. Ooh. And then come on back up. Let's just come forward for a few breaths. Start to walk your hands forward to your edge. We're all going to look different in this pose. So go with what works for you. Just one more breath here in the center. And then slowly begin to walk your hands up. Take your hands underneath the backs of your thighs and bend your knees and just bring your legs together. Give them a little shake. So we're going to make our way onto our backs for the remainder of class. Anything you need for Shavasana, grab it so you don't have to come back up. And let's lower onto our backs. We're going to set up for a inversion and inversion. So if you want to take your own, go for it. I'm going to guide you with a block. So if you don't have a block, you're coming here. If you have a block, lift your hips. The medium or low height is the height you want the block. Under your hips, the block should be flush on the floor. Shouldn't be angled. And then send your legs up so your ankles, knees, and hips are straight up. They're not going over your head like a plow. They're going straight up like you're in a headstand. Just about 3 more deep breaths here. One more breath. Slowly bring your feet down to the floor. Press into the floor, lift your hips, and slowly lower your spine to the earth. Draw your knees into your chest. If you want a happy baby, this is a good time to grab those outer edges of your feet. Otherwise, just hang on to your knees and rock from side to side. We're gonna close our practice with a twist. Draw your right knee in, left leg extends. You have a different twist you prefer to take, go for it, and look over your right shoulder. Come on back to center. We're gonna switch it up. Draw your left knee in. Squeeze it in and then take that knee across your body. If there's any other postures your body needs before Shavasana, feel free to take it. Otherwise, bring your knees back to center. You can always feel free to log off and take a nice long Shavasana if you like. Wrap your forearms around your shins, lift the nose up towards your knees, take a big inhale here, and then let everything go into Shavasana. Letting your feet be wide, feet flop open. Your arms, move them away from your body, create space there. Just feel the support of the earth beneath you. And stop controlling the breath. Slowly begin to bring some awareness back to the body. Gently wiggling your fingers and your toes. Maybe your thumb rubs over the finger pads of each of your fingers. And then on your next inhale, just reach your arms over your head onto the floor. Stretch from your fingertips all the way down your spine to your toes. And then draw your knees into your chest. Gently rock from side to side. Let those knees gently fall over to the right. And when you feel ready, make your way up to a comfortable seated position. And when you get there, just close your eyes, bring your hands together at your heart. And just take a moment and notice how you feel. Are your shoulders a little more relaxed down your back? Your mind a little quieter? And I'll end our class with the same quote we started with. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. Take a big inhale through your nose and just fill up with breath. Goodness, happiness, joy. And exhale, let it go. Do that one more time. Long, slow, full inhale. And a slow exhale out the mouth. Thank you for joining me this morning in this incredible practice of yoga. May the sun always shine through your heart, into your smile, and warm your soul. Have a lovely day. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone.
You too, Vanessa. Thanks so much.